welcome or welcome back to my channel. It's been a minute that I've done a YouTube video, but I felt like doing it today and I have lots to say. I always have lots to say. My mind just doesn't shut up, which is something I love about myself anyway. I wanted to talk about, I don't even know what I wanted to talk about. There's like 5 topics on my mind right now. So I'll just let my soul take over here. Like whatever comes through, I'll just say it and I will title it at the end of the video because right now I don't know. I read this quote the other day. The pain is unavoidable, but suffering is optional. You don't have to suffer, like you can choose to see a certain thing a certain way. You see, in life, we are programmed to think that this has to be a certain way for me to feel good. This is how this thing is supposed to be so that I can feel better. And that's the biggest trap that we sometimes spend our whole lives in. Like nothing has to be a certain way, no matter how strongly you feel it in your mind, no matter how strongly you believe it. Belief, I've recently like grown out of this thinking. Like if you have a certain belief which is very very strong for you, then that thing will come true for you. That is not necessarily true, because belief is something that kind of limits you in a way. What I'm trying to say is, if you believe that you're going to be this millionaire or like this successful person, however success is important to you, however you see it or define it, right? You see that, you believe that, but you have a very limited image of that thing. Like a belief is still limited at its core because you are putting a label on it, you're defining it, and you're putting it on a side. Okay, it's fine to want a certain thing, that's fine. Okay, you might want it that way, but like life is way more whimsical than that. Life is way more than that, way more beyond than that. Like there are things that you can't see, hear, sense, define, only realize and feel. And what if, like I believe like that is like having a belief and defining it a certain way, it's just a way of your mind trying to find certainty, like trying to feel secure with in something, like trying to find your root in the present. But what's really powerful is not knowing, trusting the unknown, like being okay with not knowing and being open to all the whimsy, all the beauty of life, like being open and receptive. And like being open means being receptive. Like when you're open to anything happening, like there are certain outcomes that you think that that's how they should happen, and they will happen because I have belief. And faith and belief are totally different things, by the way. That's how I see it. Like faith is having being comfortable with the unknown, but belief is defining it, putting it in a box, putting a label on it, and then choosing to believe and being comfortable with it not being here right now, not being a reality right now, but later on you believe that it will be. And you feel somewhere that it is powerful and it may become true, it may be real and whatever. But like the real faith is trusting the unknown. That is where magic happens. That is where things happen that you could not even possibly would have imagined. That is embodied belief, if you will. Like that is the faith that is in your body, because when you are trying to manifest things and trying to be positive and like um trying to focus on the good and having a good perspective on life, there's nothing all entirely wrong with any of that. There is no good and bad anyway. Okay, which brings me to my next point. Trying to, in the world of like toxic positivity, or like the general shit that we read about manifestation, we're always trying to shift from negative to positive. not, I don't want to be negative. That's also another trap in a way. Why? Because you are essentially taking off the focus from one thing and putting it on another. There is still attachment, you're still attached. There is nothing good or bad. So this is how I see it. um if a person is, lying, cheating, killing people, committing crimes, they would be doing that from a very, very negative vibration. If you look at it, pause this video and take a screenshot. If you look at it, this graph of consciousness, there's only emotions on it, there's only energy. I heard this quote somewhere: there are no enlightened people, there are only enlightened actions. So it is your actions and it is your intention behind doing that action is what matters. There is no good and bad, there is no positive or negative. That is just human mind. That is just how human mind sees the world. That's just how it's designed. But when you come back to your heart, to your body, there is nothing good or bad. Like if you are, for example, you went through a lot of trauma and you're carrying a lot of shame in your body, and when somebody comments uh, on your appearance, or they talk to you or anything, you take things very, very personally, you're very offended, and you're just thinking about it for days, and things impact you a lot, and that's a sign that you might be holding on to a lot of shame from your childhood which you haven't addressed yet. So when that happens, it's not a bad thing. You don't have to label it as bad, and it is not actually bad. It's just very, very low on the scale of consciousness. If you slowly worked on yourself and you know you release that shame, you don't have to put anything more. No, you don't need more knowledge or more books or more podcasts. You sometimes need to have a realization, work on that, and that's it. You don't need more. You need to take off that weight that you're carrying. You need to take off that belief and that expectations of other people or whatever it is that is weighing down on you. You would know if you sincerely decide to want to try and understand and figure things out with your conscious mind. You will have breakthroughs. You will um have the answers that you sincerely ask with your heart. Okay, so if you make mistakes in life, if you have trauma which is driving your life, which is bringing you maybe bad experiences, there's some thoughts or some feelings, emotions, or dense energy in your subconscious or unconscious mind. um it's not a bad thing. There's nothing wrong. That doesn't make you a bad person. It's not negative. Don't see it that way. And also at the same time, once you have worked on yourself, you have healed some of your patterns, and those things stopped showing up in your life, and you may be attracting nice people around you, nice opportunities, relationships, things, whatever, what our mind sees as positive has started happening. That's also not a good thing. It just is. Stop seeing anything as negative or positive, because it is not. Who is judging it? Like, who is sitting on top and giving you a certificate? Oh, you are a good person, and you are. It is all you defining everything with your mind. It's just how your mind is seeing it. So basically what I'm trying to say is, when you stop labeling things as good or bad, only high vibrational and low vibrational, it's not good or bad, just high vibrational or low vibrational, very enlightened, less enlightened. That's it. You stop feeling so attached to your emotional states or other people's actions and how they impact you. It's not good or bad. It is just what it is, okay? Just accepting everything as it is. It just is what is. Let that sink in. It's not good or bad. Greatest argument that I have heard, that I have personally also experienced, is that when we are feeling an emotional state, when we are going through an emotional state, it feels like our body and our actions almost go out of our control. We feel super angry, super triggered, we feel anxious, and those are the things that you get to work on when you are not actively triggered, when you're not actively facing difficult situations with people, which is your everyday life, which is your daily routine, which is when the second you wake up or before you are about to fall asleep, what routines or what things, what are the things that you do? Do you practice gratitude? Do you journal your thoughts and feelings? You know, whatever modalities or techniques that are out there, are you just using them superficially, or you are actually committed to it? How committed you are to your, to bettering yourself and to bettering your life? Again, when I say that, not from a place of going negative to positive. There is nothing wrong with you, there is nothing negative about you. um you might have done some really shit things in life, but that was about it. They were just some actions maybe you committed when you were not aware, when you were not self-aware enough, or whatever level of awareness that you have right now. You maybe didn't have that back then. That's it. That doesn't make you a bad person. So you need to stop labeling things, first of all. Second of all, how committed you are to the things that you are currently doing to better yourself. The level of sincerity that only you know deep down. Okay. And when the next so you're working on yourself, you're trying to, you know, understand yourself at a deeper level. Great. And next time something triggering happens, you behave the exact same way, and then you're like, oh, this is shit, this is not working, I don't give a like, I'm a bad person. Then those things will come back, and it's a loop that might go on for as long as it takes for you to realize this information in your body at a soul level, at like understanding this knowledge not with your mind but with your body. That is when your body will slowly learn to react differently, not react but like respond to situations in life, and you will eventually get to a state of neutrality. First it will start with your mind, but then it will slowly become an embodied practice, because you keep purifying yourself of the ways in which you see some things as bad and some things as good, some things as negative, some things as positive. Nothing is good or bad, nothing is positive or negative, it's just the meaning that you give it. Your life is exactly what you make it to be. Everything is exactly the meaning that you give it. I hope this